The most valuable data we have doesn't sit still, it flows. It's a continuous sequence of events where the order of the information matters just as much as the data itself. In global finance, predicting the next market movement is impossible without tracking the exact timeline of the millions of trades that preceded it. In medicine, the rhythm of a heartbeat recorded on an EKG is a sequence where a single disruption tells a critical diagnostic story. For years, the foundational tool was the feed-forward neural network. Data goes into input nodes, weight supply, and a prediction emerges. But these models process every input in total isolation. They evaluate sequential data points individually, completely blind to their arriving order. It's like trying to predict exactly where a moving ball will bounce next by looking at a single static photograph of it in midair. Without seeing its past trajectory, any guess is just random chance. To process sequential data, deep learning engineers had to find a way to force the concept of time into neural networks. But as the sequences grew longer, they would eventually realize that to build true artificial memory, they had to abandon the timeline altogether. The ultimate test of sequence modeling is human language. But before a neural network can track the order of words in a sentence, we have to solve a simpler problem. Machines cannot read text. They only process numerical inputs. The earliest approach to this was one-hot encoding. You create a massive dictionary of every known word and assign each word to a specific slot in an array of zeros, marked by a single one. With a vocabulary of tens of thousands of words, you end up with massive, mostly empty vectors floating in space. It is computationally wasteful, and it tells the network absolutely nothing about what the words actually mean. The modern solution to this problem is called an embedding. Instead of tracking a giant binary grid, an embedding condenses that vast vocabulary down into a dense, continuous vector of numbers, mapped out in a multi-dimensional coordinate space. By mapping words this way, semantic meaning translates directly into geometric proximity. Concepts that are related, like deep and learning, naturally cluster close together in the mathematical space. We successfully converted abstract language into spatial geometry. But the network still needed a mechanism to read these geometric points sequentially, exactly as they appear in a sentence. How do you give a memory to a feed-forward network that is strictly designed to reset after every single input? The engineering solution was the Recurrent Neural Network, or RNN. It introduced a feature that standard models lacked, a continuous feedback loop. An RNN maintains a dynamic variable called a hidden state. After the node processes an input, it loops its output back into itself. If you unroll this loop over time, it becomes a horizontal timeline of identical nodes connected by a linear path. At any given time step t, the output is calculated using both the new input arriving right now and the hidden state passed forward from the previous step, t-1. The network isn't learning a new set of rules for every step. It reuses the exact same weight matrix, updating it sequentially at every point along the timeline. The RNN successfully forces chronological order onto the data, but that rigid step-by-step dependency introduces a mathematical bottleneck that eventually breaks the entire system. For a neural network to learn, it has to calculate its errors and adjust its weights. In an RNN, it has to do this in reverse, tracing the error signal backward through the timeline. This process is called backpropagation through time. Because the sequence is linked step by step, backpropagation requires chaining matrix multiplications together, using that exact same set of weights repeatedly for every single time step. If those weight values are even slightly less than 1, repeatedly multiplying them against each other causes the error signal to shrink exponentially as it moves backward. This exponential decay is known as the vanishing gradient problem. In practice, this means the error signal fades to 0 before it can reach the earliest nodes in the sequence. The network literally forgets the context of the data it saw at the beginning of the run. Engineers built variations like LSTMs that use internal gates to selectively hold on to information longer, acting as temporary band-aids. But they could not bypass the underlying bottleneck of sequential processing. Processing data strictly chronologically guarantees computational decay over long distances. To handle massive sequences effectively, deep learning required a different structural logic. The challenge was clear. How do you analyze a strict sequence without getting trapped by a step-by-step timeline? The solution was an architecture that completely abandons recurrence. It's called self-attention. Instead of reading data one step at a time, self-attention pulls in the entire sequence and looks at every piece of data simultaneously, in parallel. To ensure the network still knows the order of the inputs without a timeline, a mathematical marker called positional encoding is injected directly into the data before processing begins. To figure out what matters most in that sequence, the network acts like a search engine. When you search a massive video library, you input a query and the system compares it against the keys, the titles of every video, to find the closest match. Self-attention does this mathematically by splitting the sequence data into 3 distinct parallel matrices: the query, the key, and the value. By formatting the data as a set of simultaneous search queries, the architecture trades the rigid limitations of linear time for the absolute precision of mathematical relevance. The query matrix represents the specific item the network is currently analyzing in the sequence. The key matrix holds the characteristics of every other available item in that exact same sequence. The network calculates relevance by taking the dot product, or cosine similarity, between the query and the keys. This generates a raw mathematical score indicating exactly how closely related those items are in the coordinate space. Those raw scores are run through a softmax function, which squashes them into normalized percentages between 0 and 1. This mask is multiplied by the value matrix, illuminating highly relevant features and dimming irrelevant noise. Because this extraction happens in parallel, it entirely circumvents the vanishing gradient problem. The network can draw a direct, immediate connection between any 2 points, regardless of how far apart they are in the sequence. That entire operation, the query, key, and value calculation, represents just a single attention head. With multi-head attention, you clone this process, stacking the operations vertically. One head might evaluate syntax, another tracks semantic meaning, and another monitors long-term context, all in parallel, locking together to form the transformer architecture. This massively parallel attention architecture is the core engine running modern large language models and generative AI, and it extends far beyond text. Vision transformers now use this exact same self-attention mechanism to process complex imagery without relying on recurrence. In biology, attention models decode the complex sequences of life itself, using sequence data to accurately predict 3-dimensional protein structures. Understanding these abstract mathematical architectures requires bridging the gap between theory and hands-on coding. To build these concepts yourself, subscribe to the Learn by Doing with Steven YouTube channel for applied tutorials. And to explore deeper discussions on data architecture, listen to the Steven Data Talk podcast, available now on YouTube Music and Spotify.